Hello, my name's Christopher, and today I'm going to show you how to install Crafty controller on Dockge. So, a little bit about this series, I'm going over home labs, installing things, getting things set up, everything like that. So, if you're interested in that, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel, and let's get started. I wanted to let y'all know about the Big Bear community. We just launched a community on community.bigbeartechworld.com. It's based on discourse, so go on there, join it, and say hi. So, let's get back to your registered programming. So this is what I'll be installing today, Crafty 4. Crafty 4 is the next iteration of our Minecraft server wrapper, controller, launcher, boasting a clean new look built from the ground up. So this is what I'll be installing today. So I'm going to start on Big Bear Video Assets. There will be linked on the YouTube description to get to this. I'm going to go over to the search and type Crafty. And then I'm going to go to how to install Crafty 4 on Dockge right here. I'm going to go to the Docker Compose. So version 2 of Docker Compose file format's being used. I'm going to set some services, and the first service underneath the services is called BigBearCrafty. And then the container name is going to be called BigBearCrafty, and this is so Docker doesn't have to generate a random name. And then the image, so it's coming off the registry of GitLab, and the Docker image, and then the Docker image tag. So now the container restart policy is set to unless stop. So that means if you stop it for any reason, it will not try to restart, but if it fails any other reason, then it'll try to restart. And then environment variables down here, we're going to set the time zone, and I would set this to your own time zone. And then port mappings. So on the left side is host, and on the right side is the container. So if the left side does collide with another port on your host, you can change it. So 8443, and then 8443 on the container, and same with these. And this is a UDP, and then this is a port range, so I wouldn't change the port range. And so now we're going to put this service in a network, so BigBearCrafty network, and that's defined down here. It's a bridge network. And then volumes, so on the left side is the host, and on the right side is the container path. So this is a local volume that's defined down here. So do not change the container's path over here, and same with the ports. So now we're going to define the network, and we're going to define the volumes down here. So that's a little bit about the Docker Compose. So I'm going to go over here and copy raw file. Then I'm going to go over to the Dockge and get this set up. So I wanted to let you know about the BigBearClub. You can join it, and it greatly supports this channel, and I very much appreciate it. So if you'd like to join the BigBearClub, you can go down the YouTube description and go to my Ko-Fi link and join it from there. So let's get back to registered programming. So now I'm going to start on Dockge. I'm going to go to Compose right here, and then stack name is going to be Crafty. And then now I'm going to go over here to the editor, and I'm going to paste in the Docker Compose that I explained over in Big Bear Video Assets. And now you can deploy, save, and then stop inactive. So I'm going to deploy the changes. What this is doing is it's downloading the Docker image off the registry, getting extracted, getting it up with Docker Compose underneath because this is using the Docker engine. It's also going to set up the network and the volumes. So now we got the stack up and running. So now I'm going to go over the Dockge UI for the stack. So active, exit, and inactive. This is just a quick status to show the stacks and what they're doing over here. You can go into Crafty and you can see edit, restart, update, stop, and then stop inactive, and then delete the stack. These are the actions up here. You can see the containers in the stack, so you can see the ports, and you can go into the bash and you can go in the container. You can switch to SH, and then you can go back into the stack. You can go down here and you can see logs. This is great for debugging. You can see a read-only version of the Docker Compose over here. If you want to edit the Docker Compose, you go up here to the edit button, And now if you want to add a service underneath services real quick, you can say add container. And then now you can see it right here. It's underneath the services. You can go into edit and you can edit on the UI. And you can also change it over here as well. So you can also go up here to delete, and now it's gone. URLs, you can add a URL. You can set environment variables and set networks, internal and external. So, and then now if you go up here to the actions, you see deploy the changes, save the changes, stop and inactive, and then discard the changes. So I'm going to discard. So that's a little bit about the Dockge UI for the stack. So now we need to SSH into our Dockge server. I'm going to go cd and then var lib docker volumes, and then now I'm going to ls. So now you'll see Crafty, BigBearCrafty, and then config right here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to cd into it. Then we'll need to go into underscore data. Then we're going to go ahead and see default creds.txt right here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to cut it out. So now you'll see the username is admin and the password is this. So I'm going to copy this right here. Then I'm going to go over to my Crafty and log in. So now instead of going and clicking on the port, because this is HTTPS, so HTTPS, the Dockge IP, and then 8443. So I'm going to go to it. Now it's got a self-signed certificate, so I'm going to go to advanced, proceed. Then I'm going to put the username and password in. So now we're going to log in. So I'm going to do admin for the username, and then password is what we copied over in the default creds.txt. So I'm going to log in. So now we're logged in and we see the UI. So now we're on the UI. So you see a host, CPU usage, memory usage, servers, players, and then storage. You have a sidebar over here, so you can go to the dashboard like we're on right now, the servers, and you can create a new server. You can create a new server, import from a zip file, and then upload a zip file, and then import an existing server. You can also go to Minecraft Bedrock, and then create a new server, import an existing server, and import from a zip file, and upload a zip file. So you can see documentation, in-app docs, their Discord, credits, and contribute. You can go over here to notifications and see a notification center. And then you can go up here to Crafty configuration and panel configuration, users, roles, and then config.json. And then you can go ahead and go over to customize Crafty as well. And you can customize the login and then apply or delete. So that's a little bit about Crafty's UI. So now I'm going to start on the Crafty UI, and I'm going to go to servers and then create new server. And then now we'll be in the create a new server square right here. So I'm going to go to server types, and there's Minecraft servers and there's Minecraft proxies. I'm going to go with servers. And then now you can select a server, and then I'm going to go with paper, and then server version. You can pick one. You can set a server name. So I'm going to say testing server. And then now you can do minimum memory, maximum memory, and then server port, build server, and then reset form. So I'm going to build the server, and now you can see it's importing now. So it's importing the executable. So now it's imported. So we can go ahead and press start. You also have clone and then kill process. I'm going to press start. Now you must agree to the Minecraft EULA right here. So I'm going to say yes. So now it's online and it's starting up. So if you go into the server and you go to logs, This can take a while to complete. So now it's up and running and we got the server started. So I'm going to go over the server options. So actions right here, stop, restart, and then kill process. You can go into the server, the terminal right here, and you can start, restart, and stop the server. And then you can go to logs and filter words. Schedule, you can schedule a task, a name, and then basic cron reaction, and then the action of start server, restart server, shutdown, backup, and custom command. And intervals and days, hours, minutes, and then enabled or delete after execution, save, and cancel. You can go over to backup and you can press backup now. Storage location, max backups, compress backup, shut down server for duration of backup, and run command before backup, and then run command after backup. Then you can click here to select exclusions, like you don't want something in the backup, and then save, cancel, and then the backup. So over here, you can go ahead and see the files, and you can go into them. So the key bindings, default, Vim, Emacs, and then Sublime, toggle editor size, and then save. You can go over to config over here, server name, and then save and cancel. And when you stop the server, you can update executable or delete the server. Player management, you can see the players and then ban players. Metrics, you can see the CPU and then memory and then the players. A webhooks, you can go in a new webhook right here. A Discord, Mattermost, Slack, Teams. And then set up the webhook, save, cancel. So that's a little bit about the server options. So I just went over step by step on getting Crafty controller running on Dockge. So if you like this tutorial, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel. And if you have any video suggestions or any community support, you can go into the Big Bear community and join our forum. There's a link in the YouTube description. So stay tuned for more.